I want to talk a little bit about this potential partnership with the Coyotes. The Morello Group has some concerning and well publicized history regarding finances. There have been unpaid or late paid taxes, bonuses, contractual obligations with vendors. There have been lawsuits. There was a failed bid to buy the NBA's Atlanta Hawks in the past. We've read the financial analysis that the city conducted via Beacon Sports Capital and International Facilities Group, an analysis that is available again for viewing on the city's website. But other analyses of this group have suggested that Alex Morello is overleveraged and may find it hard to achieve financing on this project at reasonable interest rates. So, what convinced you that those other views were inaccurate and that this deal was not fraught with too much risk for the city and its citizens?
So I appreciate you bringing all of that up. And clearly, those are situations that myself and the council are aware of. But I think in a situation like that, what you attempt to do is do your homework and do as much investigative work as you possibly can as a city to make sure that our residents and business owners are getting a good deal. And I can tell you, in the 10 and a half years that I've been a member of the Tempe City Council, there has never been more due diligence done on an individual project than the one that was before us as a city council on November 22nd and 29th. Everything from a robust financial analysis to a traffic analysis to talking about what would need to happen when it comes to additional public safety response in that area. Should you add an additional 2 million visitors per year estimated? That work was all done. And that work was frankly not all done directly by members of our city council. We have an incredible team of professional staff members, from traffic engineers to people like Tom Dunsing, who's our deputy city manager and chief financial officer, CPA, who did all of that work. And our staff, I can tell you, did an incredible amount of heavy lifting to get this project where it currently is. And when it comes to looking at things such as the financials, I trust our team internally. When I look at Tom and the work that he's done and the staff that he's built here at the city and his 30 years of experience in municipal government finance, as well as being a trained CPA, when he said to me, Mayor, I believe that the Morello Group has the ability, if they want to get a deal done like this. They have the capital, they have the financial wherewithal to make this happen in the city of Tempe. I believe him. When the report, that the council members had the opportunity to see from Beacon Sports, that has worked on projects such as this one for many years, when they also give a green light saying that, confirming exactly what Mr. Dunsing said, that they've done an exhaustive financial analysis of the Morello Group and all of the associated businesses. Frankly, that does give me additional comfort. When I look at a couple of the businesses that Alex Morello was personally involved in, when you think about things such as banking and gaming, those are two exceptionally highly regulated businesses. I happen to be on a credit union board in the city of Tempe that I've been in for the last 10 years. And I would remember when things like the Dodd-Frank Act were passed, and there were a lot of additional regulations placed on anyone, whether it was credit unions or banking institutions, to make sure that you were really doing right by the people who invest their money with you. Banking is a very highly regulated industry, as well as is gaming. So I also know, I know that to be a fact. And so, so from my perspective, what you attempt to do in a situation like that, where there might be some questions that the council might have, or that staff might have, or that even more importantly, our residents might have, is you do your due diligence. You have your staff do a robust analysis. You bring in outside entities that have critical experience to help you analyze a lot of these things and do a lot of investigative work. You also build in things into the deal. As an example, if this deal, if this passes on May 16th, the Coyotes immediately have to send the city of Tempe a non-refundable $40 million payment. The land would be sold to them for the overall cost of $50.3 million, but $40 million of that is frankly non-refundable. And so that is a tremendous concession that we were able to gain through the negotiations. And so if for whatever reason, let's say the deal didn't go through and we were able to get a $40 million payment, we would have the ability to take that money and remediate the land ourselves and put it back out for another proposal. That's some of those were some of the things that were frankly built into this proposal to ensure that our residents and business owners had the ability to have some comfort with this. But the other thing is, if someone is willing to invest $40 million into the project, they're not doing it to simply make a donation to the city of Tempe. It's because they're trying to get a project actually built so they can realize some kind of return on investment. There were other things, quite honestly, when you talk about the creation of the community facilities district. That's because some folks would ask, very good questions about, well, what happens if for whatever reason the projections for this project are not exactly what's exactly on a piece of paper right now. There are a couple of mechanisms that can be used to then recoup the money. One is that there would be additional assessments imposed upon the entities that are within the Tempe Entertainment District to get that money back. Not additional assessments on residents of the city of Tempe, but only for the entities that are actually within the Tempe Entertainment District and within that community facilities district. There's an ability to impose an up to 6% surcharge only on the entities within the Tempe Entertainment District to get money back to pay the debt service on the bonds if for whatever reason the projections don't reach what's already been outlined in some of these agreements. So the fact of the matter is there are mechanisms that were put in place by members of our staff and our outside team to ensure that Tempe taxpayers are not on the hook for this. And frankly, the only people who would be on the hook are businesses and entities that are currently contained within that Tempe Entertainment District. We really do believe as a city that, people many times talk about development paying for itself. And the fact of the matter is the bonds that will be issued, which also will not be on the city's books, the revenues generated are going to go to pay back those bonds, but only, once again, revenues generated on this actual site by the businesses and entities that are on the site. And that ensures that really it is development paying for itself. And if for whatever reason the projections don't work out as planned or something else takes place, we've got that $40 million and we can actually increase the assessments or potentially assess that additional 6% surcharge to make sure that the bonds actually do get paid off. But that would all take place, once again, within the Tempe Entertainment District, not for the residents of Tempe at large.